Hey, welcome to Bionic Business, the podcast for online entrepreneurs ready to leverage AI and agents to move the needle and scale revenue and grow profits. There is a massive difference between the entrepreneurs winning with AI right now and those who are getting left behind. That difference is not luck. It is not who has the fanciest tool. It is not chasing hype, and is definitely not about mega prompts. The key difference is strategy. Knowing what to do, what to skip, and staying ahead. Let's get into it. Throughout this podcast, I've walked you through why your AI attempts probably have failed and how and why you're not getting the best work out of AI, and what's happening with competitors who figure this out, why prompts don't matter and context matters more, how agents and full loop systems work, how to make your team more efficient, and what my own projects look like running at 70 to 90% agent autonomously. And I've also talked to you about the most important agent you need right now, which is like a chief of staff agent. Now, I want to talk to you about the thing that ties all of this together. And it's not about moving fast, right? That's hustle that just will keep you exhausted and never getting anything of value done. The true advantage right now, and for years to come, is knowing what action to take, knowing when to take it, and then moving quickly once you made that call. It is about the right action at the right time with speed. All three matter. Miss any of them and you're either spinning your wheels on the wrong things and missing windows of opportunity, or you're watching from the sidelines while others execute and grow their business. Now, there's the real issue with people trying to keep up with AI by just moving fast is that they chase every new tool, right? Something launches, they sign up, they spend a weekend tinkering, and they can't figure out where it fits, and then they move on. 3 months later, that tool has either died or evolved into something completely different, so it's just a ton of time and energy wasted. People who are struggling implement based on hype. They hear about some new capability, they rush to build something around it, and then discover that it wasn't ready for production or it didn't actually solve a problem they had. So they're just burning resources. These people exhaust themselves trying to follow every new thing. Every AI newsletter, every AI hype guru, every YouTube breakdown, every X thread or social post, and it's all a ton of information overload with no filter for what actually matters to their business. Their attention is scattered and nothing is implemented well. Speed without judgment is chaos. You end up busy, but not better. So the advantage comes from three things working together. 1, staying current enough to see opportunities before others. You don't need to know everything, but you got to know the things that matter for your particular business at this time and your space. It's about having enough awareness that when something relevant emerges, you see it early, and it helps you just keep the noise away because number 2 is having the judgment filter to signal from all the noise. Knowing what's worth implementing versus what's hype, right? Knowing what applies to your situation versus what is interesting but not relevant. This is a piece that a lot of online entrepreneurs are missing. They either ignore almost everything or they chase everything. The skill you need to develop is the filtering, getting the signal from the noise. And then 3 is executing quickly when the timing is right. Once you've identified the right action and the window is open, boom, you make your move. Not next quarter, but not when you have more time, but right now. You build, test, implement, and learn while others are still evaluating. So the formula is the right action at the right time with speed. I'm not going to lie, things are moving quickly, and to some degree, you need to keep up, but you don't need to keep up with everything there is. And the good news is that you don't have to try to do this all by yourself, right? So I built a system that monitors AI developments continuously. I have agents scraping sources, filtering for relevance, summarizing what matters, and flags what I need to pay attention to. But these systems are tuned to my businesses and my clients. It's not trying to surface everything. It's surfacing what's relevant to people that I work with and to the projects that I run and to things I'm interested in. So there's a filter built in. When something gets flagged, I make the judgment call. Is this real or is this hype? Does this apply to something I'm building or something that a client needs? Is the timing right or is it still too early? Most things that I see, I file away or ignore completely. They're interesting, they're cool, they're flashy demos, but they're not actionable for me right now. But when something hits all three criteria, relevant, real, and timely, then I move real fast. Within days, not like weeks and months. I test it against existing workflows. I build a prototype and I figure out if it actually delivers what it's promising. So this is how I can tell you what works and what doesn't. When I mentioned Claude for customer service agents or n8n for orchestration or like how to structure full loop systems, that came from this process. I saw the opportunity because my agents helped me see it. I judged if it was worth pursuing and then executed hard and fast and quickly enough to learn while the window was open. So when I tell you something doesn't work, it's because I ran it through this same process and it failed. Not because I read it somewhere and someone else had an opinion, right? So the next 2 to 3 years will determine where you stand in this AI and agent economy. I've said that before in this series. The people who win won't be those who move the fastest on everything. The people who win will be the ones who moved fast on the right things at the right time. If you're chasing every new tool, every new prompt, every new agent, every new skill that comes your way, you will burn out and you will have nothing to show for it. But if you're ignoring everything and waiting for things to stabilize, you'll also miss the window of opportunity that's open for only a period of time. You need to stay in the middle. You need to stay aware, filtering well, and executing when it counts. If you can do that and your competitors can't, you will pull ahead. You're not going to pull ahead because you work harder and longer. You're going to pull ahead because you made the better decisions. And that's why I write and edit Bionic Business. Every week I share what's actually happening in AI that matters for online entrepreneurs. But more importantly, I help you filter, figuring out what's real versus hype, what's worth your attention and what you can safely ignore. And I share what's actionable now versus what to file away for later, right? The stuff I share is what my companies and projects are actually doing. Everything I'm sharing is from the front lines of implementation. So when we learn something from real work, we pass that on. When we test something and it fails, we also tell you so you don't waste your time on it. So here's what you get in Bionic Business. You get the filter. I'm doing the work of monitoring everything so you can focus on what matters. You don't need to read 20 AI newsletters. You need 1 or 2 that's tuned into what you're building. You also get the judgment. I tell you what I think is worth acting on and why. You can disagree, and that's fine. But at least you'll have an informed perspective from someone building in the space. You also get the timing. When something is ready for implementation, I tell you. When something is interesting but too early, I tell you that too, so that you'll know when to move and when to wait. You're learning from someone actively building and running these systems. This is not something that people read from someone else on the internet, the way that AI gurus are doing it right now. They're just regurgitating information from elsewhere. I'm sharing things that work. So for those who want to go deeper, there's Cortex. That's my premium subscription of Bionic Business. In Cortex, I don't just tell you what's worth acting on. I also show you step by step how to build and implement agents, for example. The signals part of it covers strategic developments and what they mean for your business. And then the circuits part of Cortex gives you tactical guides for actually building the systems. When I identify something worth implementing, Cortex subscribers get the implementation guide. It's not just like this is interesting, but I'm also showing you exactly what to do with it all. It's the difference between knowing what to do and knowing how to do it. So here's what I want you to do. Go to bionicbusiness.com and subscribe to the newsletter. It's free to start, and it'll give you the filter you need to make better calls about AI and agents inside your business. If you've gotten value from this podcast, the newsletter goes a lot deeper. Every week in your inbox, no hype, just what works and when it works. And when you want the full implementation, strategic guidance, and tactical guidance, that's when you upgrade to Cortex, the monthly subscription. We're going to go even deeper into agents across the board in every way possible, and this is the opportunity of a lifetime for any online entrepreneur. So you want the right action at the right time with speed. That's how you win in this AI economy. And Bionic Business helps you find the right action. You bring the speed. BionicBusiness.com. Get subscribed now. Thanks for listening. It's been a pleasure talking to you, and I'll see you in the newsletter. Thanks for listening. If you want to stay ahead of what's happening in AI and agents and know what to pay attention to and applying it all to your business before your competitors figure it out, you got to subscribe to the Bionic Business newsletter. I'm in the trenches every day exploring, testing, and implementing this for my own projects and for real businesses. I only share what works and tell you what doesn't. Links in the show notes, or go to bionicbusiness.com and sign up. If you have questions or something landed differently for you, just send me a message. I read them all. See you in the next episode.